Am I the asshole for telling my brother I don't trust him with my child?
Mm.
Okay, it sounds harsh, but hear me out. My husband, 29-year-old male, and I, 28 female, just had our first baby 10 months ago. Aww. With it being our first, we're understandably more precautious about a lot of things, including childcare. To date, we've only had our nanny watch her one on one during the workday,
Mhm.
and no one has watched her overnight. To give you some family background, my brother is a 31-year-old male, is my only living immediate family member. Our mom died when we were young, our eldest sister died several years ago, and our dad died last year. Damn, that's some
Wow.
tragedy. So my brother and I are close, probably closer than most siblings due to our sheer amount of SHI star we've gone through. My brother and his wife, 33 female, live about 90 minutes away and we see them often. None of my in-laws, parents or siblings live close. The closest is about 6 hours away. So that's like driving from like Maryland to like Pennsylvania, but a little bit further than that. Anyway,
Okay.
so as far as family goes, no one on either side of the family has taken our child for an extended period of time, let alone overnight. I think she meant ever since our daughter was born, my brother bugs me about letting her come stay the night. I'm hesitant for a lot of reasons for her to stay with anyone, but especially my brother. My brother and sister in law don't want children, which is fine. But they both claim they don't do diapers. They don't care about schedules or bedtime, and their knowledge about children is minimal at best. Also, my brother is an avid smoker, and it's not that he smokes that bothers me, but that he has a blatant disregard for others when he smokes. His house reeks, and he smokes inside, even though he claims it doesn't smell.
Wow.
Neither of which I want around my daughter. But the part that really sells it for me is that he has not held her at all since she's been born. He refuses to touch her because he said babies make me nervous. But it's obvious he loves her.
Mm.
He spoils her and talks about her all the time, and I can just see it in him that he cares. So the last time he was bugging me about letting her come and stay, I snapped. I told him that I will never trust him enough to have my daughter come and stay with him. I gave him the reasons I said above, and he just didn't say anything. He was just shocked and ended up leaving, and we haven't talked for 2 weeks, which is very unusual for us. I tried to apologize for what I said, but he hasn't responded. Even though my husband and I are on the same page about this, he thinks that I was too harsh, and maybe I was. But he thinks we should have just continued to make excuses as to why she couldn't stay, rather than tell him outright that she never will, which I think is almost worse. I know I shouldn't have been as direct, but I think ultimately it was better to be honest. So am I the asshole?
I feel like in the last bit when they mentioned like being direct versus being indirect, I think she was right. Excuses over time gonna lead to him feeling like they don't trust him anyways. So it's better to be a little bit more direct. Maybe like a sit down at dinner, everybody comes together and we actually talk about the possibility or if and she could come over and whatnot, and then give their not gripes, their concerns with why they would have a problem with it happening, and then go from there. Probably have them work on that or something. But
Yeah.
after a while, getting nagged, you have to snap.
I feel like she shouldn't have snapped though.
I
Like
know.
I feel like she could have calmly just sit him down and be like, let me talk to you about how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Like just be mature. I feel like also too she could have told him like what would allow him to see the child more.
Hmm.
Like maybe instead of saying why you can't, say what could make you able to. And I would say in that case she could say, well, maybe once you start feeling comfortable with holding her,
Yeah.
that could be one thing that will allow you to see her. You could only watch her at my house, and you cannot smoke while you're here, at least not inside.
Yeah.
You have to change her diaper. You have to like list out the things that he would have to do instead of telling him what he can't do. And then I would say after you list out all the things that he would have to do and that would make you feel comfortable with him watching your child, then I would tell them because you guys don't do these things, that's why I haven't felt comfortable with her staying by you guys. Like she
Yeah.
could have said at the very end, kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
But like they don't want kids they don't like diapers, so the baby gonna be in a dirty diaper for the whole time they over there.
Yeah, I would feel nervous if my kid with them too. I don't come, my kid will be missing an arm.
Oh
The
man.
diaper will be full of like
Man.
baby
That's,
crying, people just smoking, and the baby crying, watching TV, like
they passing the
crazy.
cigarette to the baby. It's like, come on now, what are you doing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's not a safe
Yeah,
environment for the baby to be in.
yeah, I agree. It doesn't sound like anybody would feel comfortable with their child staying with them, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So what would you do? Well, you said what you would do already, but do you have any concerns about people watching your kids maybe?
Yeah, I do actually. But before I talk on that, I want to talk about the brother's reaction as well.
Okay.
I get that his sister pop off on you,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like reacting like that to people being direct with you is very immature.
Yeah.
Like she pop off on you, sure. Maybe you could talk to her about that. Like, hey, I didn't appreciate you like raising your voice at me and stuff like that. I just
Yep.
asked a simple question,
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she tell you all those things and you didn't have like a to say, you could have been like, okay, I didn't know, or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like because communication to me is like a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's not only on the sister for doing everything wrong. The brother also could choose how to react to it
Yep.
in order to facilitate proper communication. So
I
keep
feel like
those
the
things to yourself.
absence of a response is actually in some ways validation
Oh, definitely. In
because
some
like
ways, yeah.
yeah, because like you can't even have like a rebuttal or anything like that, or say, well, maybe I can do that. Like I have like some kind of discourse to help you get to where you want to be, or at least close to where you want to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So about me letting people watch my kids, I think I will never let anybody watch my kid because I'm paranoid.
Yep, you are.
I would have to, if I let someone watch my kid, it would have to be at our house, which nobody gonna want inconvenience themselves to do you a favor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I ain't
Yeah.
going by your house to watch your kid. Like that's crazy. Bring them to my house. I'm watching them for you for free. Like come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I would more trust family members or friends, like close friends, than like a nanny or a stranger,
Yeah.
because I would hope that, and let me say this too. I would tell my family and friends like how I want my kids to be taken care of.
Uh-huh.
Like for instance, don't hit my kid. No matter what happens, you have to figure out how to communicate to the child and get
Yeah.
them to listen to you. Read a book or something if you need to.
Yeah.
Um, Two, don't feed them certain things. Like I don't eat processed food, that much processed food. So don't be bringing over like Pop Tarts and shit to my house because I don't have that here. Like stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I
What
think
about you?
the scary thing for me is like, we're in a world of social media and all these videos going around. And you see what happens in daycares, and it's like, if that was me, I'll be in jail. There's this one video that was going around on Facebook, I think, back in the day of the one of the workers at the daycare brought her older son to the daycare, and he was like doing WWE moves to the kids, and these are like not even they're barely able to walk.
What? I don't believe in using violence to discipline children, but that boy to get beat.
He bust the little girl a drop kick, and they catch it
Why?
all just for fun. Let me see if I can
No,
find it. Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Yo, I swear, I'm like, you know
I
how people be like Mama Bear?
yeah.
Dude, I will beat up somebody kid. I don't care if you five.
So I found a video here. All I type is little boy in daycare, and it's a second video, 3.7 million views. I think we should play it.
I do not want to see this.
Oh.
I don't get triggered. I'm saying that right now. You can play it.
Let me figure it out and see. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But like stuff like this is also why I don't want my kids to go to like daycare and stuff.
Yeah,
Because it's like you never know what's gonna happen when you can't see what's going on. But I guess that's the case at any point in their life.
yep, yep. Let's see if I did. Well, I did have it here. Boom, boom, boom.
Triggering the hell out of me.
Crazy, man. But yeah, that's one of my big concerns is like other kids around my kids, and then the competency of the adults that are watching the kids. Because
Yeah.
sometimes things happen that you can't predict, and that's fine. But then there's people that actually are malicious in their actions that they take, and that's the problem there too.
Yep.
So it's like right now my son is in daycare, but from what we can tell, everybody there is extremely nice. We found a great place, so like that's like a relief off my shoulders to not have to worry that much.
I want to also comment on something else. I
Mm-hmm.
assume that daycare is in a low income area as well,
Looks like it.
which I don't like to assume these things when I see like people who look like me.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I would say this. I just wouldn't expect this from a higher income area. Like
Yeah.
it would be less likely.
Yeah.
But then you always have potentially crazy people at any income bracket. So it's still a concern of mine.
Wait, but is the higher income area within the same culture?
Who knows? It depends. Like, there are some affluent black neighborhoods where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume they would have better, like they have better schools, public schools and stuff in those areas. So I
Okay.
assume the daycares would be better too.
Okay. Because then you run into the problem of like racism towards infants. So like that was my
Yeah,
concern with that too. So like, do you just stick with, I don't know, your culture, or do you try to have like a better experience, which probably won't be better? It's like so hard.
that's true.
So much going on.
That's the thing that something like speaking about racism. I was talking to you about this the other day, so
Yeah.
I basically gonna repeat it. Sometimes I have dreams where like I'm dealing with cops who are racist towards me, or like judges, or like I've literally had several dreams where I've been gunned down by a police officer, and it's like people think like you're exaggerating when you're like saying like this is a concern of ours, right?
Yeah.
But I can't imagine another race having these kind of dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is something that literally is so worry. Like I worry about this so much. I don't worry about it when I'm awake. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about it. I'm a light skinned black guy. I assume that my lightness gonna save me, hopefully. But
Possibly.
I mean, I
Yeah.
still black.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like the quality of life and the things that you have to worry about are just so different. Like I have to
Yeah.
worry, not only have to worry about my kid getting the same like bad treatment that other kids could potentially be exposed to. I
Mm-hmm.
have to also worry about like will they get that treatment simply because of their skin color?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.